What's up guys, from Neocon473 here, bringing you another YouTube video. I am back with my Microsoft, Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase 2022. It's a little more awkward to say than E3, but this is essentially the E3 conference from 2022 for Xbox. And basically, if you don't know what that is they show off pretty much all their big releases for the next year, or further. Now, this year, they actually made a point to state that everything shown would be playable within the next year, which I thought was fantastic, because I had my ass all excited for State of Decay 3, and they didn't show it. So, clearly that game wasn't ready when they announced it 2 fucking years ago, and now no State of Decay. But we move, and they showed off a lot of shit in this thing. You'll see trailers going in the background. I'm editing this in my usual style. For those who don't know, I've done these, I think 2016, 17, 18, and then 21. I actually forgot I made one last year, but anyway, we're just going to get into it. If you've seen these before, I don't talk about everything they show. I just pick things that interest me, and I discuss a little bit about them, so that's what I'm going to do now. The first talking point was actually the last thing they showed, which was Starfield. This has been announced for a while. I didn't really care about Starfield until now. I don't rate Bethesda. I don't really like their games that much. Now, this is also someone who hasn't really played them, but I've never really felt a compulsion to play Elder Scrolls or Fallout. I played Fallout New Vegas a bit, and I liked it, but I wasn't, like, crazy. And I know that's Obsidian, but yeah. For me, I didn't rate Starfield. And then I saw the gameplay showcase today, and I was like, oh my god. Like, it's like Skyrim-y Fallout combat. Like, it kind of looks like that, but visually it's stunning. And the level of depth that they've gone to, I really like how the character customization looks, how the the skills system looks in the game. You can build a spaceship, and there's so many fucking planets that you can explore. I know No Man's Sky obviously is bigger, but that game is procedurally generated, so it kind of doesn't count to the same level. But if this game is as impressive as it looks, wow. Like, my main concern, this is why I'm not going to pre-order it, my main concern is that I hope it fucking works. Because it looks like one of those games where it could just really disappoint people. So I'm going to wait, probably going to buy a hard copy, not going to download it, and I'm going to see is it any good. If it scores well, if it gets like Elden Ringy numbers, then I'll probably pick it up, but I need to see, I don't want a Cyberpunk again, so we got to see how things shake out with Starfield first. The next thing, honestly, the first thing that made my jaw drop from this showcase, and the thing I'm actually most excited about, is they're bringing fucking Persona to Xbox. Which, what the fuck? The fact that Persona 5 is coming to fucking Xbox faster than Switch blows my mind. I was like, genuinely, thinking of getting a PS4 purely for Persona. Like, there's not a lot of PlayStation games that really, like, entice me over, aside from like Spider-Man and Last of Us. They're the only ones that I'm really like, yeah. But fucking Persona on Xbox, Jesus Christ. And then just to rub salt in the wound of the PlayStation fans, they announced the Kojima partnership, which had been rumored for a really long time. They didn't show anything about what he's working on. They just said that, yeah, they are actually working on something. So that's really cool. Obviously, I didn't play Death Stranding, it being on PlayStation, but Metal Gear is fucking sick. Kojima is like a weird mad genius who, I don't know if his games are really good. Like, I love Metal Gear. Death Stranding looks kind of weird, but I appreciate his level of artistry that he brings. It's nice having like a unique creative vision. Someone like him or Suda51, you know, like, it's kind of cool seeing that auteur thing in gaming. Like, in film, auteurs kind of annoy me because they're a bit like up their own hole. But in film, or in gaming, I should say, auteurs are the ones who care about the players more, so I like that. The first game they showed off was Redfall, which I think was first shown a year ago, and I was like, meh. And then they showed gameplay of it today, and I really liked what I saw. A lot of people really turned on this game when it was shown. Again, I think that could have been PlayStation fans kind of being like, yeah, look, you're big exclusive. Because this was the first game shown after the Bethesda announcement. So I think people could have been a little bit underwhelmed, and then PlayStation fans were kind of rubbing it in. Like, yeah, this isn't fucking amazing, this is just a game. It kind of just does look like Back 4 Blood by way of Arcane Studios, so it could be really fun. I don't see it being like an essential game, but I really liked what I saw. I really liked the art style, the aesthetic, the vibe. The gameplay looked really cool. There was these weird like magic spell shit shown off, and it looked really fun. So I will probably play this as well. The next thing that really piqued my interest, surprisingly, because I never gave a shit about this franchise until I saw this trailer, was Diablo 4. So I was watching the Necromancer trailer and I was like, this looks really fucking cool. And I saw it was Diablo and I was like, alright. And I like the top-down isometric view. I don't really play games with that viewpoint. I'd like to get into it. And yeah, it just looked really interesting. The gameplay looked really fun. That Necromancer class is straight up mine. I'm playing the shit out of that. And just the gore, like isometric doesn't mean ugly. Like the art style in this game was gorgeous. That's what really caught my attention. So I'm excited to play this too. This was a really good showcase. It was like an hour and a half, and the fact that all of these are coming out in the next year is mind-blowing. Because I lived through the lean years. Like 2013 to 2020 was not a good time. We did not eat good. So yeah, all of these games I'm talking about really impressed me. The next thing I want to talk about that really kind of threw me for a loop was Minecraft Legends. Like, it's some action strategy game, vaguely looking, I don't even know what it looked like. I genuinely don't know what it looked like. It was like basically the Nether's invading the overworld and you have to unite all the overworld mobs, and I thought that looked sick. But the combat looked like hack and slashy, but also like tactical. Kind of like the bits in Dragon Age where you pull the camera out and you can like direct your allies. That's kind of what it looked like. I don't know anything about how it's going to play, but that looked really fun. I love when Minecraft do cool stuff with the IP. Even though I haven't played Minecraft Dungeons or Minecraft Stories, I like that they exist. So yeah, this looked really funky and I'm probably going to pick this up as well. The next thing was Grounded is leaving early access and going into full release. I played a little bit of that with my buddy Francisco last year. I think it was last year. And we really liked it, but we kind of like fell off it pretty quick because there wasn't a lot there. And I know they've added stuff since, but now that the game is going into full release, I'm probably gonna want to try and convince my girlfriend to sit down and play it with me, but she's probably not gonna do that. It doesn't seem like her vibe. But yeah, I really liked what I saw from from both the early access and now this trailer. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't have a huge amount of insight to these. These are just kind of my reactions to these trailers. And these are the games that like I'm thinking of playing in the next year. And if you want to see these featured on the channel, please let me know. I probably won't do playthroughs of any of them, but if you want to see me like play them, just give me a heads up, comment it down below what you want to see me play from this list, and I'll play it. Next up, they showed Hollow Knight Silksong. Now, I own the first Hollow Knight on Switch. I kind of bounced off it because up until very recently, I didn't really gel with Metroidvanias. I don't like getting lost in games. It makes me profoundly anxious. So I don't really vibe with Metroidvanias, but I really enjoyed Metroid Dread, so I'm willing to give the entire genre another shot. And Hollow Knight Silksong, I mean, it's a sequel to Hollow Knight, which is one of the best games of 2018, so it's going to be good. It's just whether or not I'm going to like it. But because it's coming to Game Pass, I can play the first one and then I can try this for free. So yeah, like obviously this game, like if you know if this game is good or not already. It's one of the only sequels on this list that I've mentioned. So Diablo 4 and now this, they're the only sequels on this so far that have really like, you know, well, Minecraft Legends is not a sequel, but you know what I mean. Which is another thing I want to mention is this showcase was almost entirely new IP. There was new Forza games shown and Overwatch 2, which I don't have a segment for, but I probably will play if my mate Will still wants to play Overwatch, because both of us were really into Overwatch like 5 years ago, and then I fell out of it and he stayed. So if he wants to play Overwatch 2, I'll get back into it, but until then, like, I don't know, I got burned by Overwatch a long time ago, so I don't really like it anymore. The next game that I want to talk about is, like, I want to say not created by the guy behind Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon. Either wrote this or pitched it, I don't know. Justin Roiland is voicing characters in it, and it looks fucking weird. It looks like Rick and Morty and Borderlands had a baby, and I am all for that. Like, my girlfriend would probably like this, but it was very bizarre, very weird. I don't know what the gameplay is, if it's just like a campaign, is it a looter shooter, but it looked really funky and fresh, and that was my point, is a lot of the games on this looked really, like, interesting. And like, they may not be good, they may not be successful, but I wanted to try so many. I only narrowed this list down to like 12 things. There was other games on there that like I would try, but I also didn't give a fuck about. Like, there was another Koei Tecmo kind of like slasher, like a big hack and slash, like Koei Tecmo games and things like that. There was this like stealth game, which I don't remember what it was called. I have it written somewhere, but you know, like there's things there that I want to play. Like another thing called Flintlock, which I don't even remember, but remember it interesting me at the time. It was by the same studio as another game on this list that I also don't remember. But yeah, lots of games shown here, and I'm only picking my favorites. But yeah, High on Life looks really funky. The Last Case of Benedict Fox is like, I think it's a Metroidvania as well, like a side scroller, probably more puzzle focused, with a really weird like gothic art style about a guy who's like investigating his dad's death, but I think there's like spirits possessing him and shit. I don't know, look really freaky, but again, visually stunning, really interesting, which is kind of what gets it's what gets me going, because gameplay wise I already know what games I like, so for me to try new things it kind of has to have like an interesting art style, because I know what games I like gameplay wise, so it's pure graphics, or not even graphics, but aesthetics that hook me now is what gets me to try stuff, or like a cool gameplay concept like Splitgate. Speaking of aesthetics that I fucking like, Scorn was shown again. I'm pretty sure I talked about this last year. This game was announced in 2014, and it's finally coming out in October. They called it a biopunk horror game, and it looked fucking freaky. Like, you're a skinless humanoid, and you take these bioweapons and like plug them into your body. It's very like H.R. Geiger kind of body horror-y stuff. I thought they were doing a video game adaptation of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, or like another adaptation. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then when I saw the title, I remembered hearing about it before. It's written in my... Because every year I write a list of games that I want to look into for the year. And it's down for 2022, but I forgot about it. So I was like, alright, I guess it's coming out now, finally. So that looked fucking crazy weird and just right up my alley. The second last game on my list, don't worry, we're nearly done. Pentiment is like a action, not an action, like an adventure game. It looked like an old book, kind of like, it's like the opening book of Shrek, kind of. And it's just like I assume it's like kind of like a point and click adventure game where you have like story decisions and stuff. And it seemed to be set in like a vaguely Celtic or Viking setting, but it's by Obsidian, so it should be really fucking funny and like sharp. So that looks kind of fun. If it's nice and short and snappy, I'll probably play through it. I have it down low because it could be kind of shit, but Obsidian has a really good pedigree, and it looked funky, it looked interesting, so I'll probably give that a go as well. Last game I want to talk about, As Dusk Falls. I believe this was announced in 2020, but I also forgot about it. Again, like kind of like a not choose your own adventure, but it seemed very like Heavy Rain-ish, I would say, but without like the, what's his name? I can't remember, not David something. I don't know, the guy who does like Heavy Rain and all that, and Detroit Become Human and all those games. It like that, but without his weird shit that he does. And they described it as like they're aiming for like prestige television levels of writing. Seems to be about a family who are caught up in like armed robbery or something, and just all like corruption and stuff. And and the art style was really weird. It was like an animated graphic novel, which was kind of jarring in a sense of like, because it was still images a lot of the time, I didn't get the emotion from the characters. Maybe it looked better in the game. I honestly would have rather this if it was either 2D or 3D animation, but it was like very pretty in like isolation, but then I was like, I'm not getting enough emotion out of this scene because the characters are just not moving. So it's more the narrative for this that I'm curious to see if it's good. The art style is really cool. I don't know if it's gonna work fully, but I'm willing to give this a try just to see where the story takes me. So yeah, that's pretty much every game I have to talk about. I didn't bring that many. I didn't want to stay too long. I just wanted to get this video made and get it up because I like doing these. I like talking about games that excite me, and they're fun to look back on and see which came out, which disappointed, which never made it. I remember talking about Cyberpunk in 2017, like that's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I have to say. And next week I'll be back with regular Pokemon videos. I recorded a Pokemon video today, but then I wanted this up first, so Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. So I'm gonna get out of here. Stop wasting your time. This message is brought to you by SineRaycon473, stamped, sealed, and approved. Please subscribe. I would like to get to 200 subscribers before the end of the year. Please. And I will see you guys again next time. Peace.